What's up, y'all? Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com. I am Cecil West, back again with the one and only.
Oh my God, it's John Liffey!
And this is another question of the day. We talk about a lot of things. We talk about people's favorites. We talk about what's the best. We talk about songs. We talk about everything. Today, I want to know, and there's a lot to pick from, John, but I got to know, what is your favorite Lazy Bone album?
Well, I'm pretty sure the majority of people out there are going to pick El Burna, but I'll say this. El Burna kind of let me down. When I heard Mind of a Soldier on Art of War, I was like, oh my goodness, Lazy Bone might be my favorite Bone member at this point. Mind of a Soldier was probably at one point my favorite track on Art of War. I'm dead
Oh, yeah.
serious. I love
Such
that
a good
track
song.
so much. And then when El Burna came out, I was like, it was cool, but it just didn't live up to the promise of Mind of a Soldier. And so, like, in my mind, my memory of El Burna is like, it's good, but it ain't my favorite. And then the Lazy solos, like, I feel like the best comes out of him when he does tracks with Just Crazy and Busy. And when it comes to his albums, I'm just like, I've never really been a Lazy album guy. But I did enjoy It's Not a Game. And I don't even know if It's Not a Game counts because it's kind of like a mixtape or it's considered like his second album, but it kind of captured all. It was like the best of Lazy Bone at the time. Had tracks with that I liked that were off of the some of the Mo Thugs albums. I wonder if I'm even thinking of the right one. But the Lazy Bone album I had it was basically like a best of Lazy Bone. And so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna leave that one as my favorite. It had like tracks with Felicia, tracks with Dub C, tracks and like songs that were on some of the Mo Thugs and here and there. And that's my favorite Lazy Bone. Whatever album is, that is. But I'll say this: the album that was supposed to have I Hustle on it. What's the name of it? It's Perfect Timing. I'm gonna get that album, and that is gonna be my favorite Lazy Bone album in the future when that ever comes out. Because I know Perfect Timing is gonna be the best Lazy album when it comes out. I mean, I don't have any reason to think that, but I'm hoping so. And I've been wanting to buy Perfect Timing for a couple years, ever since I heard I Hustle. Because I think in one of our other videos, my favorite Lazy Bone track is I Hustle. That's my jam. So in the future, Perfect Timing. But for now, It's Not a Game is my favorite Lazy Bone album.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask if it's it's not a game that you were talking about, because it had the it did have some tracks that had already appeared on Thug by Nature. I don't know if all those tracks had previously. I think a bunch of those tracks were new for that album, but it did have some Thug by Nature tracks as well. And I think they released it twice. Like there was a white cover and a black cover or something.
Yeah, because the ones I see like online don't match the one that I listen to on Google Play. So there's a version of Thug by Nature on Google Play of Lazy Bone. That's the one that I consider the Thug by Nature album, and that's the one that I'm talking about. There's a lot of Felicia on it, a lot of Mo Thugs, and it's actually has because the Thug by Nature you see online is it's like it's a different track list, but
Uh-huh.
it the one that's on Google Play Music that's my favorite Lazy album, and it's called It's Not a Game on here, but I can't find any proof of it online. But that's my favorite one.
Hmm.
What's yours there,
Favorite
Cecil West?
favorite Lazy Bone. I'm gonna feel just real common. You set me up. You set me up to feel common. But my favorite is Thug by Nature. Um, which just it makes me feel generic, but I got reasoning here. I got reasoning. So at the time, and Thug by Nature was released like the end of 2001. So I was still in high school. And if you think way, way back, like in around that time is actually when I was running hellsent.com. And my name was Lazy Thug, Layz 1999 Thug. Lazy Bone was my favorite member. I also thought Mind of a Soldier was great. I just I thought Lazy Bone was incredible. his voice, like, you know, if you think about it, like Layzie's kind of got like a mix of like Bone voices, like he's got a higher voice like Busy, but it's not Busy high. So he's got like a drop of Crazy Bone in there too. So his voice was kind of like the perfect mix. Um, I just thought Layzie Bone was a cool cat back then, and you know, people had already got their solos. Flesh had a solo, Busy had his solo, Crazy had his solo. So we were waiting for, at that time, my favorite member to drop his solo. There was a lot of good hype for it. Um, I was really excited. Now, before I tell you about anything that went wrong, let me tell you what went right. When I got that album, it starts off with as good as it can get. In fact, it is my favorite non-Bone intro that isn't like a Bone Thugs. Did I say that right? It's my favorite intro from a Bone member that's not like an album intro.
That's the
The in
boom, 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 boom. Is
Oh,
that one?
bro. Even now, I still love it so much when I hear it. But I can remember popping, and I had like a 6-disc CD changer, and I popped that in, and that boom 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 boom. That shit kicks in, bro. And it was just like goosebumps from like the edge of my fingernail skin up my fucking arm to my shoulder. I was just like,
Uh-huh.
oh my goodness, what is about to fucking happen right now? Crazy, lazy, busy, wishing flesh mighty. Dude, I was fucking losing it. Um drops in the battlefield, which you know was a do or die diss. So like coming out the gate, I was very happy. I was like, dude, Layzie Bone holding on to it. Now, it's my favorite because I probably gave it the most plays trying to love it.
Mm.
Because at that time, I wasn't willing to just accept that I didn't like something. So on the first play, I was like, I don't really love this fucking album. Um, but it got a lot of play out of me, you know, because I was trying to love it. There was just a lot that, you know, wasn't right for me. I hated, bro. I hated the El Berna thing. If anybody like
Yeah.
really loved that move, like I get like, I don't know, like I mean, it's like his second nickname because you know up until then we all knew him as the #1 assassin. So I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is El Berna? What the fuck is this? What does this even fucking mean, El Berna? Like I was like, is he leaving the group? Like, is he not even a Bone anymore? Like, did he completely like? It was very confusing. Uh, the the artwork
I-
wasn't like Bone shit. You know, even Crazies, even Thug Mentality, like even though it didn't look like a Bone album, like you know, he used the Bone Thugs font, and you know, it made you think of Bone. So I was real confused by the look. Um, I didn't love the El Berna thing. I didn't love the tracks, but it got a lot of play. And I can tell you this too, and I don't know when the last time you heard it was, but if you go back and you listen to that album now, you'll enjoy it a lot more than when you heard it in the moment. I'll also say that the album finishes out amazing. Smoke On, Listen, and As the Rain are the last 3 tracks, and they are great Layzie Bone tracks. Every one of them is a great song. They're all just about 4 minutes long, so they're nice, long, good songs. So that album finishes great. Um, I've never got the feeling off a Layzie Bone release that I got off that first one when I popped that intro in, and it just got
mm.
so much. It got so much play, and you know, I don't love every track on it, but I like them all a lot better now. And those last 3 in that intro, those 4 tracks, those made it. And I just try to ignore that he wrote a fucking snowmobile in a music video.
Yeah, make my day. Yeah. Now here's the thing. I did listen to El Burner a lot, trying to like have it wear on me because the funny thing too is like when I first got the gift, I didn't like on day one. I was like, I don't like this, but then like after my third listen, I'm like, how the heck did I not think this was the bomb? Like, and then it became my favorite album. But also to your point about listening to it again, I noticed a lot of the stuff that came out back then that I wasn't liking, like even some like old Mo Thug stuff. When I go back and listen to it, I'm like, man, I, I was sleeping on this. It's really good going back and listening to things. One of the Lazy Bone albums I always wanted to get, but it was never available. And I used to go to the store to try to find it. Was the one that had the pyramid at the background. I always wanted to, and to this day I still haven't heard that album. And and I almost wonder if it's in Google Play because I would like to hear it. I couldn't even get the downloads online of that particular album at the time when it first came out. And so, yeah, I still want to hear that Pyramid album. I might do that this week. You know the one I'm talking about, right? He's like in front of a
Yeah,
pyramid,
yeah, yeah,
and I
yeah.
just
It,
it was not in any stores where I lived, and nobody had the MP3s online, so I just never heard. I think it's called like the New Revolution. I just never heard that one. And I think
yeah,
there was a different cover for it too. One of our boys, like I think, made a draft of it, and
it,
it
it,
looked a little bit different.
it was a sickness, a sickness release.
Mm, yeah. And in Cleveland also, I always wanted to hear that one. I just haven't heard these albums, not because I didn't like I'm a bad Lazy Bone fan. These albums were just never. El Burner was in the store and I got it first day, but everything else I've had to get online or hear on a streaming service because it just never was available to me. But
Yeah, both the ones that you're talking about were Cleveland and the other one. Those were both sickness.net releases. So,
mm,
it must have been. And then like the Cleveland album, I've always questioned, and I don't know how much you've seen it, but there's a guy named Killer Clump on most of the songs. In fact, like
uh,
the last bunch of songs all feature Killer Clump.
aha,
And
I
like,
do recognize that name.
yeah, so he's on a ton of songs. I wonder if he was like a sickness artist and this was going to be one of those split albums and maybe it just didn't come together because he's featured on probably half the tracks on Cleveland.
Well, I'll tell you
Um,
this, man, perfect timing. I'm looking forward to that one big time. I hope I hustles on it. I don't know if that came out on the number one assassin or not, but no, I hustle, perfect timing. I want that. Also, he made something with like the emerald tablets with somebody, and I just like the story of the emerald tablets. I wonder if that's any good. I haven't heard that one yet either. I wonder if the definition and the meaning were any good, or the law of attraction. I never heard those either. Perfect timing for sure.
yeah, I'm excited for Perfect Timing too. I know that we've been waiting. I know that Lazy's waiting too. In the meantime, though, those are our picks until Perfect Timing drops. My favorite Lazy Bone album ever was Thug by Nature. John picked up with the mixtape. He picked, what'd you pick, John? You picked not the meaning.
So,
It was
it's not a game.
not a game. It's not a game. I picked Thug by Nature. Now it's your time to pick your favorite Lazy Bone album. Make sure you drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to hit share. Share this with another Bone fan so we know what their favorite Lazy Bone album is. And we will catch you guys on the next one.